going along with your life and you look around and you notice like, oh, I am in my 30s, I have $40,000 in debt, I live with a weirdo.
You do have a super creepy roommate.
You read my diary?
At first, I did not know that it was your diary. I thought it was a very sad, handwritten book.
Bridesmaids, absolutely hilarious.
Thank you, Dana.
So, directing a film like this, did you have to go and find the woman in yourself to be able to direct something like this?
Well, I was very drawn to the project anyway because I know Kristen and had used her in a movie before this, and just a huge fan. But when I first, read the script, the feeling of like, oh, there's so many funny women that I've seen or that I know I've worked with, and it's just such a great opportunity to get a lot of them in.
You've got your character Nathan Rhodes.
Yes.
In this movie. He's a very funny guy. But he's also very sensitive. Being an Irish comedian, you must kind of wear your heart on your sleeve.
I guess I do, yeah.
And then playing a character like this, I mean, was that a little bit tough?
It was one of the easier ones in a way because everything that he does in the film is very believable, and there was no kind of big streams to jump in a way. He reacts in a very believable way and in a very common way, and probably is quite an on-centre character to play, and that he's not a million miles probably away from I'd react.
Planning a wedding should be fun. You know what? If I ever had a wedding, I'd want everybody to be stress-free. I'd like it to be like a carnival.
And then you're on set with so many different females with so many different personalities, and you've got every part of a woman in this film. The sensitivity part, you've got all the best friends, you've got the bitchiness, the bad driving.
Yeah.
I want to get in trouble for saying that, aren't I?
Yeah. There is not one scene of a woman parking, and it's not that we didn't shoot it.
And then, so then what's it like kind of working with so many different women and on set with so many funny women as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I grew up in a house full of women.
Okay.
So I was totally aware of how frickin' crazy they are and how mind-numbingly ignorant.
Yeah.
So that didn't come as a shock.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird. I didn't think I would have to dumb down as much as it turned out I did, just so that they could understand.
We're gonna get in trouble for this, aren't we?
No, it was really easy. They're just the brightest, most clever women, and it was really fun group to work with.
What's it like working with so many women?
I find it fantastic. In a weird way, I'm almost more comfortable around women. All my friends kind of growing up were girls, and then in my work, I work with so many funny women especially, and so I wasn't intimidated by it at all.
Yeah.
If anything, it was more just knowing that I had to create a very safe environment where they could shine.
Lillian, honey?
Just so pretty, it makes my stomach hurt.
Lillian, I don't know what to say. You look... Megan, are you okay?
Oh.
I think my dress was probably just tight.
Oh my, okay.
Oh no.
Nothing's happening.
Oh my God.
I don't really care which dress we get. It doesn't matter to me. I just need to get off this white carpet.
No, okay, no, not the bathroom. Everybody, go outside. I'm serious.
So, I mean, because I live in San Francisco myself.
Oh.
So,
you've got a really, really strong San Francisco
I know,
accent.
it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, the American humour is very different to English, Irish, the humour. And so a lot of the times I get told, you can't say things like that.
Yeah.
Being like a comedian and being in these American films, you find that you have to kind of tame yourself.
Well, to be fair, I think that this film is probably more bawdy than a lot of British films, so I didn't feel like and also I do think that the sense of humour and the sensibility of Irish comedy is much more aligned to American comedy even than British comedy. So I think we're probably closer to them than we are to British comedy. Okay. I think there can be kind of a tight-lipped thing here, which. It's gay abandon across the pond, so that was never a problem actually. Tonally, we all felt like we had the same kind of sensibility, so it was fairly straightforward.
So as I said, look, I follow you on Twitter. I look at your thing and it says that you like wearing suits and try not to screw things up.
Yeah.
Was there a part on the movie where you made a big mistake?
Oh, well, it was more just I was really nervous the whole time about screwing up the entire thing because I knew this was going to be a big movie for women, and Hollywood was kind of going like, well, we don't make women's movies, so if this does well, then we'll make more, and if it doesn't, then the other way. So it was a general feeling of like, please don't let me mess this up.
I'm engaged.
What?
Will you be my maid of honor?
Of course.
You know, the main character Annie.
Yeah.
She's at a point in her life where she absolutely hits rock bottom. When is a time in your life where you've kind of hit the low, and how did you get out of that?
That's a good question. I remember when I was in drama school and kind of wasn't going well, you know, I didn't really particularly enjoy it. And I was broke, so I was working on a building site from 6 till 9, and then at 9 I would go for a salsa class. Okay. And I thought, this can't be right. This scenario isn't something that can continue forever. And eventually I just left drama school and worked in call centers and tried to get work in other ways. So I just made a big change, I guess.
I hit rock bottom right before I wrote Freaks and Geeks. I had been an actor for years and years and years, and was finally, you know, I was on a bunch of shows and they all got canceled. Was finally on this show called Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which, you know, and it was a hit. So I was like, finally, as an actor, I'm all set. I'm taken care of. And then they let me go from the TV show, okay. And I had just made this low-budget independent film that I was trying to get distributed and seen. Nobody wanted it, and so it was just sort of the worst year of my life. I had no money, and I'd really just taken a chance to get out of acting. But when I was in the middle of that, I wrote Freaks and Geeks as a spec script, and then it got sold, and so immediately I got out of it. So, you know, it's just, if you keep plugging and keep working, you can pull yourself out of any bad situation, I feel.
It's some classy shit. I want to apologize. I'm not even confident of which end that came out of.
Okay, so then going back to your character, Nathan Rhodes.
Yes.
You've got an Irish police officer.
Yeah.
Living in Milwaukee. Okay.
Milwaukee.
How did you audition? Did you audition as an Irish? Or,
no, I auditioned as a, I auditioned in LA in an American accent because it hadn't occurred to me to do a British accent, to be honest. And
what's your American accent like?
It's excellent, but we're not going to do it.
Okay.
And it was fun. And the next two films I do in an American accent. And but I like using the Irish accent because there are Irish people everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
And why not? You know. So, but Paul had seen, the director had seen the IT crowd a lot and was a fan. So, he was surprised that I was doing an American accent. He asked me to try it in Irish, and it kind of worked out.
Yeah, I mean,
and you know how women get. So as soon as it happened, they were slipping off their seats.
Yeah, of course,
It was extraordinary.
I need you to touch your nose with your finger.
If I was drunk, would I be able to do this?
I would hope so.
So I mean, and in this, the cast of this is, you know, it's from TV shows all over. You know, you've got people from The Office, people from Mad Men. Do you find that these now? I mean, and all these TV characters, they're really starting to make it big in Hollywood. Do you find that these TV characters, are they the next generation of the top movies?
I think so. I mean, TV is in a real golden age in the U.S. right now. I mean, there's still plenty of junk on there, but the number of quality shows is so high. And what happens is television is more willing to take a chance on people who aren't big movie stars yet. And so there they get to shine, and then it's almost like, you know, then they get plucked out and put into movies. The irony is, I think there's more better television now than there is movies. So hopefully all those good people will come and you know, and raise the standard.
And I mean, with Bridesmaids, it's been said that, you know, it's a big chick flick, and, you know, but it's like the funniest chick flick probably ever made.
I like to think so.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Thanks.
And there's been so many guys that have been to this movie. I mean, the guy who sat in front of me was, you know, these guys are laughing their heads off. You know,
good.
So I mean, did you think that you'd get so much male attention for this movie?
I hoped we would. I knew men would be resistant to it at first because it seemed, you know, there's been movies like this made that are guy poison. But my hope was that women would come in and talk about it so much or drag their boyfriends with them that when the guys saw it, they'd go like, that's really funny, and then tell their friends, and word of mouth would bring the guys in. And that's been happening. So
excellent.
Nice.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for your time.
Daniel, thank you so much.
Hilarious movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, cheers. I appreciate that. And thanks for dressing up.
No problem. Thank you.
You're like the maid of dishonor.
I was